Hi guys, my name is Antos, and today I want to show you this really cool wireless follow focus that works sort of like this. Here's my wife, and now I'm going to go back to me. And as you can see, I'm able to rack the focus all using this little remote control. Not only that, but using this remote control, I can also change the aperture of the shot, so I can darken it as I'm doing right now, and I can open the lens back up. And when it comes to the focusing itself, I can do it slowly or fast, and I can set up sort of a start and end points like I did right now. So the one point right now is on my face, and now I'm going to slowly go over back to my wife. And the focus now should be on her. I don't have a monitor to double check, but now I'm going to go back to me. So the whole kit comes in this cool case here that will protect the adapter for you. Some manuals. Here's the adapter itself, and now it's called an adapter because what it essentially does is it adapts, like I said, Canon EF lenses onto either Micro Four Thirds cameras or Sony E-mount camera, depending on which version of this adapter you get. And it's an active adapter, meaning, you know, like I said, you can control everything using the remote. It does not pass the information from your camera to the lens because, like I said, it's all done through the remote. And also, it is not a focal reducer, for example, which doesn't basically change the focal length of your lens. It's just an adapter, like I said, lets you put Canon EF lenses on either your Sony A7S, or any Sony E-mount camera, whether it's full frame or APS-C size, or Micro Four Thirds cameras. So this is the adapter itself, and as you can see, everything's kind of contained within the adapter. Underneath it here, it has the built-in battery and also a little display here that will show you all the details about the lens and what settings of the lens right now you have, and also the battery status, the built-in battery. And then here on this side, you have the on-off switch. And on the bottom we have a micro USB, which you can use this to plug in, for example, you can connect this to your camera to remotely operate the camera or to charge the adapter. And here we have the handle, which is used for wirelessly controlling the adapter. And then we also have in here the airy rosette mount, which allows you to sort of clip this handle onto like I said, other accessories or things like that. I'll show you guys kind of how this can come in handy. And also comes with a bunch of cables. So essentially how the adapter works is you can put on EF or Canon EF or EFS lenses onto it and adapt it to, like I said, Micro Four Thirds or Sony E-mount cameras. So here I'm going to put it on my Panasonic GH4 because I have the Micro Four Thirds version. So you can see it goes onto the camera, and now this allows me to put, for example, this Canon EF 50mm lens. And once the lens is under, I have to turn on the adapter, switch the power here, and then I turn on the remote controller, so here on the top, and just kind of give it a second, and you're gonna see that once the lens connects, it's gonna usually kind of move the focus a little bit for you, and then you can sort of just test it out by moving the focus here. And as you can see, adjusting the lens, and you can go slowly or you can go fast, and it goes very smoothly. Now you'll notice maybe with this 50mm lens, it kind of has a little you can see a bit of the stepping effect, and that's because the lens itself, the focus, the AF system in this lens is not the greatest. So really the adapter works great, but it just works better with some lenses than others, and that just depends on the lens. If you have a lens that has a better AF system in it, where it's a bit smoother, has more steps, it's gonna work a little bit more smoother. But even with this lens, like I found the 50mm lenses is one of the worst ones, but really when you're actually using it, it changes the focus pretty smoothly. Now, just so you're aware, this only works with AF lenses or autofocus lenses, and also works with mirrorless cameras, because in order to fit the adapter, basically, you need a mirrorless camera that has a shorter flange distance from the back of the lens to the image sensor. So it's not going to work with your actual Canon EF cameras like the Canon 5D. Now the really cool thing is that not only can you wireless, like I said, control the focus, but you can see here on this little screen, both on the remote and on the adapter itself, you can see exactly what settings you have. So you can see, for example, the battery status there on the right. You can also see what f-stop you're in on your lens, and here by adjusting this dial here on the front, you can change the f-stop, and you'll see the information updating both on the remote but also here on the adapter itself. And then it shows you, for example, 50 right now. That just shows you the focal length of the lens you have under. So since I'm using a 50mm lens, that's what it's displaying. It also has an iris lock function, so if you don't want to accidentally change the f-stop of your lens. And it has these A and B buttons here on the side. Those are for setting the focus marks. Very easy, you just go to whatever position you want of your focus. Once you want to lock in, for example, the A position, you just press and hold it till the little A appears on the on your remote, and on the adapter as well. It's going to start flashing, and then you go to the other position and you'll press B, for example. And once you do that, you're going to feel the remote kind of shake a little bit, and then A and B is both highlighted. So that's when you have the two focus marks. And now as you're moving from one position to the other, you can move it at whatever speed you want, but once you hit the end, basically once you hit one of the marks, the adapter will stop. It's not going to let you focus beyond that. And also, the same thing when it goes to the other side. Like I said, very simple system, but very well thought out. It works beautifully. This thing works up to 100 meters or around 320 feet of distance. The built-in batteries, they don't work, they don't last that well, especially on the adapter side here. But it just depends on what lens you're using. I guess some lenses I found that the AF system uses a little bit more power, so the built-in battery will only last you like half hour, 40 minutes. But then some lenses will allow you to work with it for like 2 hours. Now, if in case you want to, for example, run with this for a whole day, you do have a micro USB connection on this side. So you can always plug in like a portable USB battery, like a cell phone battery. I like to use these Jackery, portable batteries. That if you guys are interested in where you can buy them and find the best deals, then just check the first link in the description of this video. That will take you to my website, and I'm gonna post all the links to all the products. So you can use that portable battery to, like I said, to power the remote in case the built-in battery already dies on you. And then the same thing for the remote control. On the bottom you have the micro USB. Again, you can plug that in there so you can keep on running with it for the whole day. Now the same thing if you want to charge the built-in batteries, you just plug it into the micro USB ports, both on the adapter and on the remote. As you can see up here, it comes with a bunch of cables. These two will allow you to connect the adapter to your camera. So these are for the GH series camera, like the Panasonic GH3 or GH4, and these are for the Sony cameras, like the Sony A7S. So you take the micro USB here and you plug it into a micro USB port on the adapter here, and then the other part here you plug it into the remote plug-in on your camera, and this will now allow you to remotely also start and stop recording the camera. And you have a button here on the remote, so each time you hit that button, like I said, it's going to start or stop the camera. Now, in case, for example, you want to use this, but you're also running low on the battery, it also has a USB or micro USB splitter here, so you can still, while using this cable, you can still plug in an external USB battery, even though the micro USB port on the adapter itself is already taken up. And the third cable here is just a regular USB to micro USB port. It will allow you to charge both the remote and the adapter, and also allows you to upgrade the firmware and things like that, in case there's any upgrades available for it. Now, having the ability to remotely start and stop the camera thanks to this cable came in really handy when I was using this adapter while the camera was mounted on a 3-axis gimbal. And the reason is because, I don't know if you guys ever had any experience with that, but especially if you're really busy and you're kind of gunning it, the thing that I usually have problems with is once the camera is on the gimbal and I'm holding the handles of the gimbal, first of all, changing the aperture or the focus, you know, is obviously really hard, because then you have to kind of let go of the gimbal, and then you have to grab it by the top usually handle, and then take your hand there and adjust the settings, whatever. Then you gotta hit record without, you know, basically disturbing the camera too much. So, because if you push it too hard, then it usually throws off the gimbals, or then you have to rebalance the gimbal or something like that. Whereas what's really cool about this is that once you basically put this camera on your gimbal, you'll never have to touch the camera again. It just, like I said, maybe at the beginning you just adjust your exposure, your shutter speed, really, that's the only thing. And then this handle, I would usually mount it on my gimbal using this adapter here. I would just, you know, use this and actually attach it to the right handle of my gimbal, as you can see up here. And then this way, instead of holding the gimbal by the original, you know, two handles, like I said, on the right side, I was actually holding the remote control up here. And because this handle itself is very sturdy, very comfortable, and has all the controls for the lens, it just felt natural. It allowed me to still use the 3-axis gimbal. But this way, without ever having to take my hands off of the two handles, I was able to stop the camera, and like I said, change the aperture and change the focus of the you know, on my lens. And it really comes in handy, because like I said, before that I would always struggle. I would you know, either need to have an assistant or have to have my 3-axis gimbal sort of stand somewhere so I could put the gimbal down on it, then adjust something with the lens, or for example hit the record button, and then I would have to grab the gimbal, and then while it's already recording I would have to get into position, all that stuff, and you're just wasting all of this, your card space basically. This way, like I said, you can have the camera on there ready, but you're not actually recording until you get your shot with the gimbal. Once you're ready, here on the remote, you just press the button and you start recording, and it's just comes in really handy. Just really makes working with the gimbals, you know, 3-axis gimbals, a lot easier. The same thing will go for, you know, for example, if you wanted to use this as a, you know, let's say maybe with a Steadicam, you could essentially, you can use this and attach this to the actual handle of the Steadicam, and then hold the Steadicam this way, because like I said, this thing is very sturdy. I put the weight of a whole sort of a full 3-axis gimbal rig, and had no problems holding up the weight of this. And then the same thing goes if, for example, if you wanted to use this system with your shoulder rig. So again, you would take off one of the handles, you would put this handle on there. Again, you can mount it directly, you know, to some certain shoulder rigs using the airy mount, or you can again use this adapter that comes with it. And this way you can hold the shoulder rig actually using this handle. And then, for example, the other handle can be your original handle from your shoulder rig. And then remotely, this way, you know, without having to ever physically touch the lens or the camera, you can stop recording, and then, you know, change focus, apertures. Now, you know, my sort of overall impressions with the system is, like I said, it works great. I wish maybe the batteries, you know, the built-in batteries maybe lasted a little bit longer, but again, it's not a problem. You can plug in a portable USB battery. When it comes to focus though, it's very responsive, and it allows you to do really fine-tune, you know, kind of small, you know, focusing adjustments, or you can do it, you know, very fast, very broad kind of focus pulls. Just depends basically how far you move this lever here on the remote. And if there was really maybe the only negative thing I could say is just when it comes to the adapter itself. As you can see, it's because of the battery here system, and maybe I guess the wireless receiver, this whole thing here on the bottom, I mean, it's not huge, but it is kind of sticking out. So if you're using a small camera, like I'm using up here the Panasonic GH4, you'll notice that this thing actually sticks out, you know, a lot further than the bottom of the camera, which then means that if for example you wanted to mount this camera, you know, and then actually have it, like let's say the base plate for your tripod, or when I was mounting this, for example, on my 3-axis gimbal, I had to really sort of play around and add like other spacers or something so that this would fit in nicely, you know, without the bottom of the adapter kind of getting in the way. So that's really the only thing. It's like I said, it's not a horrible thing. If, you know, I guess I don't know if they could have put the whole system here on the side, but it's like I said, it could cause a little bit of a headache, you know. So I would definitely, if you guys are gonna get this adapter, I would definitely just sort of play around before you actually go and do a job. Make sure that this is not going to get in the way of you mounting the camera on your rig. Now the adapter comes actually with this little kind of a spacer here, which is meant to, you know, so you put it on the bottom of the camera, and then you mount, let's say, your base plates here. So this will effectively just raises your camera here higher. problem I found with this is because it's so small and so narrow, such a small surface area, it's kind of, you know, then the whole camera becomes very wobbly. So I never actually use that. Like I said, I would use like some other little things I added here just to kind of add extra height to my camera. So that's the only really negative thing. Otherwise, the system works great. And it's a lifesaver, definitely, if you're using, you know, 3-axis gimbals and you want to, whether you want to, for example, pull the focus yourself while you're holding the gimbal. And like I said, having this is great because not only can you pull focus, but you can stop the camera and change the aperture. Or even when, you know, I use this, for example, on this scene here, on the last feature film that I worked on. And again, I had my assistant just kind of pulling the focus using the remote control. And also he would start and stop the camera for me. So again, that was very handy because this way all I really had to worry about is, you know, operating the actual gimbal, making sure the framing was good. While my assistant, you know, I would just tell him roll camera, he would start recording, and then he would worry about, you know, the focusing of the lens. And also, like I said, you know, then for that operation, obviously you have to have a wireless video system kind of built into it. I kind of use my own do-it-yourself wireless video system, which I did a video about it, you know, a while back. It's a very cheap, affordable, but reasonably well working wireless video system. Again, if you guys want more information on how to build that wireless video system, or where you can get this adapter, what are the different kind of places, best prices, best deals you can find, again, you can find all of that on my website. That's at tomantosfilms.com. And as always, on my website, I also have lots of filmmaking tutorials, tips, other film equipment reviews, and anything really filmmaking related. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then help support me by checking out my exclusive filmmaking tutorials. I have the new Lighting Dozen tutorial series, which concentrates just on the lighting and the camera setups, to kind of, you know, allow you to get these really cool looking professional setups using standard DSLR cameras. And in these tutorials, I'll show you everything from how I set up the camera, what lenses I use, what settings, where I put the lights, to even afterwards how I do the color correction to get the final effect. And also on my website, I have the short film school, which documents the whole process of me making my short film Dinner Date. So it's going to teach you guys everything from the beginning to the end of essentially how you can make a short film. Plus, I also have the music video film school, where I show you how I produced 3 different music videos, and again, from the very beginning, from the concept, the actual production, and then post-production, doing all the color correction and effects, how you can get the final effect like this. So once again, that's all on my website at tomantosfilms.com. Anyways, thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. Also, I gotta give a big shout out to Guantanamo for helping out with the test. You guys can check out his YouTube channel. All the links are in this description below. And also Matthew Luppino. Also check out his YouTube channel. He's got some cool stuff on there. So anyways, thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.